So, I just started a Substack for the practice of living to help, share with you some of my writings outside of the practice of living, the book one that I have been writing and editing in the background. And today I wanted to share a an essay that I wrote recently on the consistency myth, and something that I've been personally sitting with since consistency has been difficult for me. So I'm going to just read the essay. These are just going to be readings and essay shares for people to sit with, and yeah, let's get right into it. The consistency myth on crews, motivation, and the lie of self-made discipline. One of the Artemis II astronauts was asked what crew means to her. She was floating in the blackness of space, the earth behind her, small, blue, and possibly fragile against all that dark. She said, "Earth is a crew." That whole messy, compromising, resource sharing, listening, struggling, beautiful planet, a crew, requiring each other, building together, taking turns, even when it's hard. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Partly because it's beautiful, partly because I'm someone who has struggled with consistency my entire life, and that image, that tiny blue dot held together by nothing but mutual dependence, felt like the most honest description of what actually makes sustained effort possible that I have ever encountered. And partly because I needed permission to stop blaming myself for something I'm still very much in the middle of. Consistency is hard. I don't mean that as a confession. I mean it as a fact that we keep pretending isn't true. We scroll past the person who exercises every day and conclude that something about their character, their discipline, their willpower, their relationship with themselves, we don't conclude the obvious thing. They are surrounded. They have a class they show up to, a friend who texts leaving in 10, a partner who's also lacing up shoes, a community whose energy pulls them through the door even on the days nothing internal would have. The motivation is not inside them, it's around them. My partner Ramon figured this out recently. He's been trying to get back into regular exercise for months, trying alone, starting and stopping, feeling bad about the stopping, and then he said simple and true: I need community for this. The motivation comes from around me before it comes from within me. Yes, exactly. That. I want to be honest about where I am with this. I'm 41. I have 20 years of somatic work and holistic practice behind me. I've built and rebuilt businesses, communities, websites, essays, and relationships. I know what I'm doing in most of the rooms I walk into, and still I lose my consistency regularly. Still have weeks where the rhythm breaks and I feel like the familiar shame spiral arriving. Still watch the algorithm tank after a gap and feel that specific embarrassment of knowing exactly why it tanked. Still see people with fewer skills and more sustained output and feel that old question arrive: what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with me, but something is hard. And the something that is hard right now is harder than usual because the world is genuinely unstable in the ways that are not in my head. We're living through a moment where planning feels almost delusional, where the news arrives faster than the nervous system can process it. Where building something for the future requires believing there will be a future that looks like something like what you're building towards. Where consistency asks the nervous system to settle when the nervous system has a very good reason not to settle right now. The shame around inconsistency in this particular moment has a specific flavor. It's not just I couldn't stick to it. It's how am I supposed to stick to anything when everything feels like it could fall apart? That's not a weakness. That is an accurate read of the current conditions. And it still doesn't feel fully excuse us from the work. We still have to try. We still have to return. We still have to find the crew and put on the shoes and show up for the thing, even when the ground is shaking. But we can do that without the shame. We can do it knowing that the inconsistency is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of our humanity inside an inhuman moment. We have mythologized consistency as a solo achievement, the self-made person, the lone disciplined hero who rises at 5 and does the thing regardless. No excuses, no support required, just will. But the astronaut floating in the black looked at Earth and saw a crew. And the research agrees with her. Studies on habit formation consistently show that social context is one of the strongest predictors of whether a behavior sticks. Not motivation, not intention, not the quality of your goal setting. Who's around you when you try to do a thing? The people who exercise consistently have workout partners. The people who write consistently have writing groups. The people who build consistent businesses have co-founders and mentors and someone to report to, even informally. Consistency is not a character trait. It's a relational condition, which means if you're struggling with consistency, you're probably not undisciplined. You're unsurrounded. This is not a small distinction, because the shame spiral around inconsistency is real and it costs us. We stop before we start because we already know we'll stop. We don't build the thing we've watched ourselves not finish before. We conclude something is wrong with us when actually something is missing around us. The algorithm doesn't help. It punishes inconsistency without acknowledging that consistency requires the very stability and support that the current world is actively dismantling for most people. It rewards the output without caring about the conditions that make the output possible. But the algorithm is not the point. The point is this. Before you shame yourself for not being consistent, ask a different question. Not why can't I do this alone, but who can do this with me? One person, that's all. Not an accountability app, not a productivity system, a human who's also putting on their shoes, also sitting down to write, also showing up to the thing. Earth is a crew, requiring each other, building together, taking turns even when it's hard. You're not the problem. You're just not yet surrounded enough. Where do you feel this in your body? The place that's been trying to do it alone. The place that's tired. Notice it. That tiredness is not failure. It's information. It's the body saying, I need a crew. Comfortably uncomfortable in the practice of living in the crew. So, at the end of everything, I also write about me, so I'll just tell you about me. I'm a somatic practitioner, holistic business coach, and writer with 20 years of experience in healing justice work. I'm the founder of Emotional Body Mapping and the co-founder of Honeyflow Heartwork, and then the Practice of Living is my Substack, Practice of Living 1. It is full of embodied wisdom, collective sense making, and occasional 3 a.m. musings that wake me up. And I can't wait until the morning. This one would be one of them. So I have a crew now, and it's making all the difference. So I hope you follow on any of those links, and stay tuned for more storytelling. And if you like this, read every Thursday morning. I post one of these beautiful musings and hopefully inspire you to feel a little bit better about yourself and the chaos that consumes us all. All right. Love you.